And delving more into this, joins us now from Tunis, Dr. Jalel Rehaiem, the expert in the U.S. Asian Affairs and professor in the University of Gafsa. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome. And let me start off by asking you, do you think Joe Biden wants to leave the U.S.-China relations heated up before he leaves office by providing new military aid package to Taiwan, do you think?
Well, the policy of Joe Biden is not different from his predecessors and would not be different from from the next president. It is a well-established, concerted effort from the United States. By successive administrations, specifically since 1979, the passage of the Taiwan Relations Act by Congress. And since then, any administration, whether Joe Biden or anybody else, is bound by law, by American law, to defend Taiwan by all means against any, not necessarily military invasions, but even all attempts of coercion, even that would threaten the economic and social well-being of Taiwan, and not only security of Taiwan. So what Joe Biden has been doing over the last few months, because by the way, this is the fourth in 2024, this year, this is the fourth military aid package to Taiwan. The first one was in April, together with Israel and Ukraine. Second one was in April 2024. Second one was in September 2024. Third one was on December 13th. And the last one, which we are talking about today. So there are four American military packages, military assistance packages to Taiwan in just 1 year. This is almost a record in assisting Taiwan, supporting Taiwan militarily. And this is, of course, due to the what we call the backlog in the U.S. Commitments to Taiwan, to defend Taiwan, of course. And since COVID-19, that is 2019 almost, over the last 5 years, there has been a kind of a backlog in providing Taiwan with the necessary military equipment that is necessary and required to defend itself against any potential Chinese invasion.
Dr. Rehaiem, how do you see the U.S.'s continued military aid and arms sales to Taiwan affecting its relations with China in the long term?
Your report said a key phrase here. Taiwan is a red line for China. It is as a red line also for the United States. So given the choice, the United States would definitely and automatically pick up Taiwan over China. Taiwan is, as President Truman used to say 7 years ago, it's a kind of an unsinkable aircraft, and this was within the context of the Cold War, let alone today in the age of what we call Pax Americana, and a strong effort and strategic vision by the United States to maintain and to perpetuate its dominance all over the world. And Taiwan is key here to the future of the U.S. predominance in Asia. If Taiwan falls to China, the United States would suffer a lot. It would be unable anymore to defend its key allies and the strategic and historical allies such as Japan, Australia, and the Philippines. So this is besides the economic and technological value of Taiwan to the United States. But strategically speaking, Taiwan is key to the future predominance of the United States of America, as much as it is the case for any potential Chinese ascendancy to the world stage.
Dr. Rehaiem, what do you think are the risks of China viewing the Taiwan question as a red line in its relationship with the U.S.? And how could this, do you think, influence the future diplomatic engagement?
For the Chinese, this is a matter of national honor. This is not new. Since 1912, first establishment or foundation of the Republic of China by the former national leader, former Chinese national leader Sun Yat-sen. So since then, Taiwan and regaining Taiwan is a matter of national honor. For the current president, Chinese President Xi Jinping, it's a matter of the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. So to achieve this rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, Taiwan is the key. Taiwan is at the core of this kind of rejuvenation promised by Xi Jinping. So for the Chinese, Taiwan is a matter of life and death. It is indeed a red line. But when it comes to the future of the Chinese-American relations, if the Taiwan issue put aside, the two countries can coexist, can cooperate on a range of other international issues, such as regional security in Northeast Asia due to the North Korean nuclear issue, other areas of cooperation such as economy, such as technology, even political and geopolitical issues could be easily solved if we could see an American and a Chinese cooperation, even in Ukraine today. I mean, as far as Ukraine from China, but a Chinese-American cooperation over the Ukraine issue would help a lot stop this unnecessary conflict very soon. So put aside Taiwan, the future of the Chinese-American relations could be. I mean, has a very good. I mean, many areas of cooperation. But if
let me move on to and ask you: when Trump takes office, how do you think can the U.S. navigate its policy on Taiwan to balance its commitment to democratic values and the One China principle while avoiding conflict with China?
First, I mean, the values you have just mentioned, such as democracy and human rights, do not mean anything for President Trump. President Trump is a transaction man. He's a businessman. He comes from the business world, so he believes in political transactions, and he believes, wrongly, of course, believes that politics is like business. You can make transactions anytime about anything. That is not the case in international politics, especially when you are president of the strongest country in the world, and when you are competing with a very promising and a very strong and rising country like China, with a lot of potential to become a superpower in the next 10 to 20 years. When it comes to Taiwan, President Trump is expected to continue with the same strategic policy since 1979, as I mentioned, the Taiwan Relations Act of providing Taiwan with the necessary military equipment and firepower to defend itself against any potential Chinese invasion or even coercions. But remember that President Trump was the first American president in history to accept a phone call to congratulate him on his elections during his election win in 2016. And that time there was a President Tsai Ing-wen, the lady who used to be the president of Taiwan at that time. And she was the first Taiwanese president to give an official call to a president-elect in the United States of America, and that was President Trump. So
thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Jalel Rehaiem, and that was from Tunis, and the expert in the U.S. Asian affairs. Thank you for insights and for joining us today.